Guys, what has happened? I mean, look at this. We've had a massive drop today in Bitcoin, not only in Bitcoin, but also in the S&P 500. We've had actually the biggest drop since April. And the reason for this, I'm going to discuss now, but I want you to stay to the end of the video because I'm going to give you my new updated Bitcoin bull market price prediction, because I think we actually might go higher than 135 to 140,000. Stay to the end of the video to find out my new prediction, and let's get straight into it. So what caused this dump? Well, the reason for this dump, I've outlined it right here, is tariffs. Now, we've had this dump before. It was in April, right? In April, we've had these tariffs implemented by Trump, and this caused a massive dump. And now we have the same thing. So what has happened? Well, first of all, we've had a big drop. It's the worst day since April, and April was obviously the day of the tariffs. But what has happened? Well, Trump made this post online. And what he said in this post is that essentially China is planning to have controls on their exports, which would be very bad for other countries as they import a lot of Chinese goods. And as a result, people anticipate that Trump might then again implement tariffs on Chinese goods. And what he said here is obviously not good for the markets. Countries are not as happy for what they've heard. And if there are tariffs, of course, just the anticipation of tariffs, they have not been announced yet, just the anticipation of tariffs has already given us the biggest drop in the S&P 500 since April. And one thing I want to highlight here, well, what does a big drop mean? It's usually a good buying opportunity before we go higher. So in my opinion, like any time in a mature asset, like the S&P 500, or even real estate as an example, a drop is always a good time to buy. Just to keep that in mind. So for Bitcoin, I think we might be able to reach the CME gap. And we had a CME gap forming the weekend before, which is here around $111 to $110,000. And I would not be surprised if we go back down into this level before we then go higher. We might trade here and then go higher. And that's it already. Now let's go straight into what I think Bitcoin could go into. And check this out. So I've gone here on the monthly time frame, right? Each candlestick is 1 month, and I've drawn these lines here on the major time frame, and we can clearly see that over time Bitcoin is becoming less volatile, right? It's basically converging here, and it's making the highs that it's making are less every time, like the percentage gain from the low to the high. Here it is 7,000%. Then the other time it was 800%, and this time it will most likely be less than that because Bitcoin is of course becoming a more mature asset. And also one thing to note, and I've mentioned that in yesterday's video, usually we always see a top for Bitcoin when the RSI, the relative strength index, which indicates how overbought or oversold we are, reaches a top. So whenever the RSI reaches a top, meaning we're very overbought, there's a lot of buying pressure. Whenever we reach a top here, then Bitcoin usually tops out, right? It's every time the same. We've reached the top here, Bitcoin reached the top. We've reached the top and Bitcoin reached the top. Last cycle also, whenever Bitcoin reached the top, we reached the top in the RSI. Now check this out. The RSI is also downward sloping. So we do not require as high of an RSI number every consecutive year, meaning we don't have to go all the way here to a level of 90 or 85 or 90 here. I think the way it's looking right now, and I just mentioned the number, if we go here to around 85, that could already indicate that we're topping out on the RSI and that Bitcoin could top out. Now let's zoom into Bitcoin. Where do I think we might be able to end the market? Well, let's just look at these numbers. It's a rough number, but it's around this range, right? And that's around about 150 to 160 to 170. It's a broad range, but just to give you guys an idea, we could be going well above 140. And in my opinion, the target should be somewhere between 140 to potentially 160 for Bitcoin. And I think I've said everything in this video. It's a good idea to see Also, just how Bitcoin is becoming more mature and less volatile. And over time, of course, these cycles are going to be less volatile, right? We're going to be converging. So this time, we might be coming here, not going as low, and eventually Bitcoin is going to become a very mature asset, get more global adoption, and that's essentially what we want for Bitcoin anyways. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I see you guys tomorrow. Bye.